So here we are in the wake of National Pet Day, and we have yet another horrifying and heartbreaking story reflecting the mismanagement of the town of Hempstead Animal Shelter. The De La Rosa's family beloved dog, Oso, was just steps from his home when he was misidentified as a stray, picked up by the town of Hempstead, and in less than 24 hours was killed by the animal shelter without giving notice to the owner and without waiting the required 5 days to give Ms. De La Rosa an opportunity to find and to reclaim her pet. This outrageous and heartless act is just another example of the abuse and the mismanagement that occurs at this animal shelter, where political connections and patronage matters more than hiring professionals who are trained to adequately care for our animals. And this hurts all of us. It doesn't just hurt poor Ms. De La Rosa. It just doesn't hurt the animals. It doesn't hurt activists who care about animals. It hurts the residents because we pay $4 million a year to run this animal shelter, and it's clearly not being run properly. Just recently, Tony Santino, our supervisor, tweeted that he had a great victory because a court shut down a performance and operation audit that was sought by our county controller, George Maragos. A victory? A victory for who? Clearly not a victory for the animals that are being taken care of here. Clearly not a victory for activists who care about animals. And it's not a victory for the taxpayers and residents either, because we have the right to know how our money is being spent. I think instead of wasting taxpayer dollars paying lawyers to fight operational audits, I myself would welcome an operational and performance audit, because that's how you can identify problems and come up with solutions for those problems. That's what a leader does. Instead of wasting time fighting with activists like Diane Madden right here, I would welcome them to the table so we could work together to find fiscally responsible solutions that would make sure that our animals are being taken care of properly and that our taxpayer dollars aren't being wasted. The case of Oso is a tragic reminder of the serious problems that are occurring at this animal shelter. And I join with the activists who call for a thorough investigation of what clearly is a case of animal abuse. And finally, I offer my sympathy to Ms. De La Rosa, whose beloved dog is now no longer with her.
My dog came out of the yard on Friday morning before I left to work. Got a phone call telling me that the dog wasn't in the yard. Come to find out, someone found him, called the town of Hempstead to come pick him up. I find out around 10-something at night where he's actually at, trying to figure out where the hospital that he was sent to. Saturday morning, I find out from a call to the town of Hempstead that my dog was already put down, that I had to come identify my dog. My dog was still walking, my dog was still eating. As from what they say, my dog wasn't eating. My dog wasn't walking. My dog was an old dog that was sick, and I did know that he was sick, but we loved him and everybody loved him, and he was still able to walk on his own. There's no need for dogs to get put down without the owner's consent. Owners have to know, and if that's the vet's choice, then, let the owner make the decision and do that. But don't just put the dog down without 24 hours of letting the owners know that the dog was there in their hands.
I don't know what it's going to take for Supervisor Santino to take action, to do something, to bring back the experts. Every expert that were hired under the last audit has been bullied out, pushed out, harassed. It's time to stop covering up everything. At this point, the town is even not responding to our FOIL requests. We can't get the information we were getting. And instead of fixing these problems, Santino's answer to that was to have more and more internal bogus investigations that really never get to the bottom of it. Most people that want to tell the truth are not interviewed by his interviewers, and nothing is changing other than to get worse. And once again, I'm going to take this time to plead to Supervisor Santino not to let this happen to another dog, to another family. There's no excuse. This is $4 million. $3 million are going to salaries. They just hired an over six-figure behaviorist that has had no experience being an animal behaviorist. We're tired of it. We're doing this a long time. It's time to fix it. And if it takes a re-election, and, that's what it takes. I hope that people remember this in November and not to vote for Santino again, because we're getting the same thing over and over again. But under Santino, it's only gotten worse. He hired someone from the New York City ACNC, and for us animal lovers, we know what that means. That's the bloodiest shelter in the United States, and that's what's gone wrong here. It's all about leadership. It's all about lack of transparency. Thank you.